Before we begin this story, take 1 second to subscribe to the channel. Because one story can change a life, and maybe tonight, this story will change yours. Musical note. There are people the world notices immediately, and then there are people the world walks past every single day without even turning their heads. James was one of those people. Nobody remembered his face. Nobody asked about his life. Nobody cared where he came from. Every morning before sunrise, while the city still slept under cold blue skies, James pushed open the heavy glass doors of a tall office building in downtown Chicago with a mop in one hand and a tired heart inside his chest. He cleaned floors people dirted without thinking. He emptied trash bins filled with papers richer people threw away. He moved silently through expensive offices while successful people talked loudly about money, business, and dreams that felt impossible for someone like him. But while nobody noticed him, James noticed everything. The building became more than a workplace to him. It became a secret classroom. Every single day, while wiping tables or vacuuming carpets, he listened carefully to conversations happening behind half-open office doors. He heard managers discussing problems. He watched how leaders handled pressure. He studied the confidence in their voices and the way they solved situations calmly instead of emotionally. Most people saw a cleaner, but inside his mind, James was slowly becoming a student of success. Even when nobody spoke directly to him, he listened like his future depended on it. Because deep down, he believed it actually did. Sometimes executives walked past him without even making eye contact. Some treated him like part of the furniture. A few even dropped coffee cups near him without apology. But James never allowed bitterness to grow inside him. Instead, he turned every painful moment into fuel. Each disrespectful glance pushed him harder. Each lonely morning strengthened his determination. While cleaning conference rooms late at night, he would stop for a second and stare quietly at the long glass tables surrounded by expensive leather chairs. Then he would whisper to himself, "One day, I will sit here too." His clothes were old and faded. His shoes had small tears near the soles. During winter, cold air slipped through the cracks of his tiny apartment windows. But none of that could destroy the fire growing inside him. His hands were exhausted from physical labor, yet his mind refused to sleep. After work, instead of wasting time outside, James searched through old boxes and discarded books left behind in office trash rooms. Sometimes employees threw away business magazines, notebooks, or damaged self-help books. James collected them carefully like treasure. He took them home every night and read slowly under a weak yellow lamp beside his mattress. Reading was not easy for him. Many words felt difficult. Sometimes he repeated one paragraph 5 times before understanding it. But he refused to quit. While others slept peacefully, James stayed awake, teaching himself lessons nobody had time to teach him. Hunger often distracted him. There were nights he drank only water because food was too expensive. His stomach hurt while his eyes scanned through pages about leadership, communication, and business growth. Yet even during those painful nights, he whispered the same words to himself again and again. "This pain is temporary. My future will be different." Months passed, then years. Quietly, James transformed himself mentally while the world still believed he was just another cleaner. One evening, after hearing a discussion about delivery problems inside one company office, an idea entered his mind. Small local businesses struggled with late package deliveries across the city. James believed there was a simpler system. He spent weeks planning quietly in his notebook. Finally, with almost all the money he had saved, he attempted his first small business idea using one old bicycle and a borrowed phone. It failed almost immediately. Customers complained. Deliveries arrived late. Rain destroyed packages. The little money he invested disappeared faster than he imagined. Friends laughed when they heard about his business dream. Some coworkers mocked him openly. "Stick to cleaning," one man told him while laughing beside the elevator. That night, James sat alone in his apartment staring at the wall in silence. His chest felt heavy with disappointment. For a moment, doubt entered his heart. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe dreams belonged only to lucky people. But instead of quitting, James asked himself one powerful question: what did I learn? That question changed everything. Failure stopped becoming an enemy. It became a teacher. He returned to work the next morning quieter than usual, but stronger inside. While cleaning offices, he paid even closer attention to how companies organized systems and solved customer complaints. He realized successful businesses survived because they adapted quickly, so he adjusted his idea. This time, instead of handling everything alone, he focused on helping small restaurants deliver food faster during busy evenings. He studied customer behavior. He created schedules. He learned from every mistake. Still, failure visited him again. Some restaurant owners rejected him immediately because of how he looked. Others doubted his intelligence after hearing he worked as a cleaner. There were days James walked miles across the city asking businesses for opportunities only to hear no again and again. Rejection slowly attacked his confidence. At night, negative thoughts whispered inside his mind. You are wasting your time. You are too poor. People like you never succeed. But his dreams spoke louder than fear. During work hours, James continued cleaning floors with humility, but now every office became a classroom with deeper meaning. Every rejection taught him resilience. Every mistake taught him wisdom. Every difficult day shaped his mindset. He began understanding something important. Successful people were not superhuman. They simply learned how to continue moving after disappointment. One evening, while James cleaned a conference room after a late executive meeting, a senior manager named Michael noticed him staring thoughtfully at charts left on the screen. Instead of getting angry, Michael asked, "You understand this stuff?" James hesitated nervously before answering softly, "I'm trying to learn." Something about his honesty impressed the manager. Over the next few weeks, Michael occasionally stayed behind after meetings to answer James's questions. He explained business basics, customer service, budgeting, and leadership. Those short conversations became life-changing moments for James. For the first time, someone successful treated him like a person with potential instead of a nobody. That small kindness gave him new confidence. James started saving money with extreme discipline. No unnecessary spending. No excuses. While others bought expensive clothes or wasted money partying, James invested in knowledge and his future. He sacrificed comfort for growth. Every dollar mattered. Every hour mattered. Slowly, his mindset became sharper, calmer, and more disciplined. Then one idea finally started working. James created a small delivery coordination service focused entirely on reliability and honesty. It began quietly with only 2 restaurant clients. No fancy office. No expensive equipment. Just one determined man working impossible hours. During the day, he cleaned offices. During evenings, he managed deliveries. At night, he studied business systems and planned improvements. The business grew slowly, almost invisibly, just like James himself. Customers appreciated his consistency. When mistakes happened, he handled them professionally instead of making excuses. Trust began spreading from one client to another. Restaurant owners recommended him to friends. Small businesses started calling him directly. For the first time in his life, James felt momentum building around him. The same world that once ignored him slowly began noticing him. But success did not change his character. James stayed humble. He remembered every painful moment from his past. So when he finally earned enough money to hire his first employee, he treated him with respect from the very beginning. No shouting. No humiliation. No disrespect. James built the kind of workplace he once wished existed for him. Employees were treated like human beings, not machines. That difference became the heart of his company culture. Years passed. The small delivery service expanded into logistics partnerships across multiple cities. Challenges still appeared constantly. Competitors tried to crush him. Financial pressure nearly destroyed the business more than once. But James handled problems with patience and wisdom learned through years of struggle. He was no longer simply surviving. He was leading. The cleaner had become a creator. The invisible man became unforgettable. Then came the moment he once imagined in silence years earlier. One afternoon, James entered a massive corporate meeting room inside a newly acquired office building. Expensive glass walls surrounded the room. Executives waited around the long polished table. Some adjusted their suits nervously as they prepared for the meeting to begin. James paused quietly near the doorway. For one emotional second, memories flooded his mind. He remembered cleaning rooms exactly like this one. He remembered emptying trash bins while pretending not to listen to important conversations. He remembered standing invisible beside powerful people who never noticed him. But this time was different. He was not carrying a mop. He was carrying ownership papers. The room fell silent as he walked toward the head seat at the table. And then something unbelievable happened. People listened when he spoke, not because of pity, not because of charity, but because he had earned respect through resilience, discipline, and relentless growth. His voice carried experience. His presence carried purpose. The cleaner who once stayed invisible had become the owner of the company. Later that evening, after the meeting ended, James stood alone by the large office window overlooking the city lights. Tears quietly filled his eyes as he reflected on his journey. Every painful rejection suddenly made sense. Every hungry night had shaped him. Every humiliation had strengthened him. Nothing was wasted. He realized success was never about becoming richer than others. It was about becoming stronger than the version of yourself that once wanted to quit. And somewhere tonight, there is another young person feeling invisible, another dreamer cleaning floors, another tired soul wondering if life can change. James's story became proof that beginnings do not decide endings. Your current situation is not your final destination. And sometimes, the people nobody notices today become the people the world can never forget tomorrow. Musical note: if this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and remember, your pain today may become your power tomorrow. Never stop believing in your future. Musical note: keep going.